Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Guru Charana Dandam Bhakta Brinda Samanvitam Sri Chaitanya Prabhu Bande Nityananda Sahoditam Sri Nandanandanam Bande Radhika Charana Dvayam Gopi Jana Samayuktam Brindavanam Manoharam Bhajami Radham Madhavindanetram Smarami Radham Madhurasmitasyam Vadami Radham Karuna Badaram Tato Mano Yastikatina Kapi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. So first of all, I give pranams to our Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Vidandi Swami Sri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj, our Rupanunga Guru Parampara, our Shiksha Gurus, Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Maharaj, Sri Gaur Govinda Gosai Maharaj, all Vaishnavas, thank you for coming. Manjari from New York, Haribol. So, just last week we started some English classes because the whole world is not Spanish or Russian. So we started some introductory classes. So we touched. Okay, no habla más, gracias. So we are touching these 4 seed verses of the Srimad Bhagavat Gita. That is 10th chapter, 10, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, he divided all the Vedic teachings into 3 divisions. Sambandha Abhidan, Sambandha Abhideya, Sambandha Bhagavan, Abhideya Bhakti Hoy, Krishner Prema Prayojana Veda Tritatvakoi. He said, all the Vedas discuss 3 subject matters only. Sambandha Gyan. Sambandha means relationship, how everyone and everything is related to Krishna. Nothing exists which is separate from him. And what we are now seeing as separate, that is the Maya, the illusory potency of Krishna. That is also Krishna's energy. So in simple language, nothing is separate from Krishna, and what we are seeing as separate from Krishna, that is also Krishna. That is his Maya Shakti, illusory potency. So everyone and everything, moving, non-moving, everything material, everything in spiritual, comes from him, maintained by him, and ultimately enters into him. So he is the supreme energetic, the Parampurush, the supreme personality, Sarva Shaktimam Krishna Brajananandam. All the scriptures say that the son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, Brajabilasi Sham Sundar, he is the supreme potent entity, Sarva Shaktimam. And all his all potencies, whatever you find, material, spiritual, all exist because of his desire. Okay, so Krishna said that in the first verse, Aham sarvasya prabhavo madva sarvam pravartate iti madva bhajanti mam buddha bhavasa manvidha. This is Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 verse 8. Right? Krishna says, O Arjuna, everything material and everything spiritual comes from me. The wise who know this do my bhajan, worship me with affection. Okay. So the second verse, Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 verse 9, discusses abhideya. Abhideya means process or activities within a relationship, right? If I have a relationship with someone, then I act in a certain way. I mean, bad example, but if I'm someone's husband, then that person, that lady, for example, will act towards me in a particular way. If I'm someone's son, then they will act towards me in a separate way. If I'm someone's cousin, someone's grandfather, these days looking more like grandfather, So according to relationship, there will be a particular behavior, a particular expectation, a particular responsibility. So this is called abhideya. So Sambandha Bhagavan abhideya bhakti hoy. So if everyone and everything is related to Krishna, everyone and everything has to serve him, because he is the enjoyer. Ekala Ekiswara Krishna Arasabhritti. He is the only enjoyer, he is the only supreme controller, and everyone else is his servant. So what are the activities of, if I belong to Krishna, what's my activity? What's my responsibility? What's my dharma in relationship to Krishna? That is seva, service. Of course, in this world, if we serve someone, we generally find it's quite a miserable experience. But we should not think service to Krishna is like that. Generally, in this world, we hear something spiritual and we apply material logic to try and understand it, because now it's beyond our present experience. So when we hear, I have to serve, then immediately comes to our mind thoughts of serving some boss that in the past maybe you had some employment, serving ungrateful persons, selfish persons, lusty persons, materialistic persons, because no matter how much you serve them, they're never satisfied. So generally you have a bitter experience of service. But service to Krishna is not like that. The happiness of service to Krishna is like an ocean. And all other happiness, the entire creation, cannot be even equal to one drop of that. Krishna das abhiman e ananda sindhu tarage trinata kam adi ta age nahi ekabindu. Now the happiness of just feeling I am Krishna's servant, that is like an ocean of happiness. And all other happinesses, including the topmost material happiness of liberation, that is not even equal to one drop of that. What is the proof? So many people gave up liberation just to serve Krishna. There's one nice Bilva Mangal. Now I'm starting translating his book. Madhusudana Maharaj translated the Sanskrit commentary of Kaviraj Goswami, of Bilva Mangal Thakur's Krishna Karnamrita. So today I'm going to start that translation. So he wrote, Advaita Veta Pati Upasya Swananda Singhasana Labda Diksha. He said, discussing his previous life, who was I? I was sitting on a throne of my own bliss, Swananda Singhasana Labda Diksha. And he was viewed by everyone as the spiritual master. And everyone was taking initiative. Means he had a very, very high position in this world. He said, but what happened? Dasi Krita Labda. But by force I was made into a maidservant of a very naughty boy who's always joking with the gopis. So who is there in this world who will not feel proud and happiness to say, I am servant of Krishna? No, his beauty is such, his beauty, his qualities, his activities, he attracts one by force. His beauty is so powerful it attracts one to become his servant. Okay, so this devotional process is based on the yoga of service. Okay, we're not interested in merging with Krishna. We're not interested in attaining any position or mystic powers from Krishna in exchange for service. We are serving Krishna just for his pleasure, just for his happiness. So this is called Akinchan Bhakti, pure devotion. Nirmal Bhakti, Bhagavat Bhakti, Prema Bhakti. So many names it has. But the essence is serving Krishna for Krishna's satisfaction. No other, the devotee does not want anything else. So question comes, how do I serve Krishna? How will I learn about service to Krishna? What is the process? The main process Krishna speaks in the second verse of these seed verses. Machita matkata prana bodhayantis parasparam katam ritas chamam nityam tusyanti cha romanticha. Devotional service to Krishna or Bhakti Yoga is based on the process of hearing. Okay, based on the process of hearing. Therefore, of the 9 limbs of devotion, Shravanakya Bhakti, devotional service headed by hearing, is considered the first. Because unless you hear about Krishna, how you know who is Krishna? Where is Krishna? What is Krishna made of? What does Krishna do? What does Krishna like? How are his servants serving him? So unless one hears, one cannot get conception. Okay, Drake? Got it? So we tried to see Krishna through the years. Saraswati Thakur said, Krishna is revealed in the heart of that person who submissively hears from the superior devotee. Okay, so hearing about Krishna, hearing topics of Krishna is so much important. Even Gurudev would say that person who peels so many potatoes, that person who does so much work, that person who chants so much, that person who does so much Govardhan Parikaram, so many austerities, but they have no attraction to hearing, then everything they do is like a zero. So much hearing is important. This is like the Sarup Lakshan, the intrinsic quality of a devotee. What is the main quality? They like to hear. No? And that hearing is eternal. Even the Ragatmik, the eternally perfected Nityasiddhas, the Brajagopis, their life and soul is Krishna Katha. Their life and soul is hearing about Krishna. Their life and soul is speaking about Krishna, but more importantly, hearing. So Krishna says, Machita Matkata Prana. Machita, the devotees have given, I am their consciousness. They exist for me. Matkata Prana, I am their life and soul. Bodhayantis Parasparam. When such persons meet with each other, what they talk about? No. Katamritas Chamam Nityam. They're always discussing Katamrita, topics of Krishna like nectar. Ordinary nectar you drink by mouth, but this nectar we drink by ears. So the gopis are always hearing about Krishna. And even when you go to the spiritual world, main activity there is hearing about Krishna. Actually, Jiva Goswami, his appearance day was it's coming soon, in a few days. So he wrote, even though he was so philosophical, he composed the 6 Sandarbhas, full of philosophy. But also he was very rasik, means not just dry philosophy, his heart also full of love of Krishna. He wrote one book called Gopal Champu. There describes every evening, right, after Krishna takes dinner, after cow grazing, Krishna comes back, milks the cows, then all go for lunch, all go for dinner. So every night after dinner, there's also topics of Krishna. So Jiva Goswami describes 2 devotees, Madhukanta and Snigdhakanta. Every night they're like sadhan siddhas, right? Because they achieved mercy perfection by the mercy of Narad. But still devotees like you see, Nanda Baba and others are asking so many questions and so many topics of Krishna are coming. So even when you achieve perfection, hearing is still there. One never gives up the process of hearing. Okay? So Gurudev said, would give so much importance to hearing. So that is Abhidheya. And third, if I serve Krishna, what will happen? Then I will develop the goal of life, which is love of Krishna. Okay, so Tesham Satayuktanam Vachatam Pritipurvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamam Upayantite. Those who worship me with love and always hanker for my eternal association, Krishna says, I give them understanding in the heart how they can approach me. Okay, very sweet verse, this one. Therefore, there are 6 gurus. Okay, 6 gurus. First, Vatma Pradach Guru, that person who first tells us about Krishna. Then there is the initiating spiritual master, the Diksha Guru. The spiritual master who gives instruction, Shiksha Guru. The spiritual master who you just hear Harikatha from, that is also one guru, Shravan Guru. Bhajan Guru also. Maybe we have some very personal questions, then we approach a particular person, that person can be Bhajan Guru. But one Guru is also Krishna himself, the Chaitya Guru. Okay, he's there in the heart of the heart, the soul of the soul. Wherever we go, whatever body we take, whatever situation we find, he is always there with us, like a friend, like a witness. So the super soul never leaves the individual soul. So he also giving some inspiration from inside. So Uddhav prayed, Oh Krishna, even poets had great lifespan like Brahma, they could not repay you. Because in two forms, inside and outside, you destroy all inauspiciousness for the conditioned souls and arrange for them to come back to you. Anta bahiyas asubha vinasa. So one external guru is the devotee, the Vaishnava, but internal guru is Krishna himself, the super soul. Of course, when we reach higher stage of devotion, that time Krishna himself becomes the super soul. Right? Anyway, so he also giving some inspiration inside. This is wrong, don't do that. This will be good for your devotion, you can do that. So he giving some inspiration inside. Therefore, when devotee feel, when ordinary person becomes desirous of knowing the absolute truth, who is God, who am I, what is my goal of life, but because of ignorance cannot get any real answer, but inside he's praying, oh God, help me, right? So Krishna hears that prayer. So Krishna also giving some inspiration inside. But what inspiration? Because now we are covered by lust and greed, selfishness, envy, all bad qualities. So what is the mind and what is the super soul? We cannot understand now. So Jiva Shakshad Nahi Tate Guru Chaitaru Shiksha Guru Hoy Krishna Mahanta Surup. It said the bound soul cannot hear directly the voice of God, the voice of the super soul. So super soul comes outside in the form of Shiksha Guru. So Shiksha Guru is a manifestation of the Supreme Lord in the heart. That's why when we meet, if we are sincere, when we meet a high-class Vaishnava, we will feel this person is my life and soul. So one voice come outside from Guru and one voice come inside. That is from Super Soul. So these two forms of Krishna, he guiding everyone to perfection. So we discussed all this last week. So Tesham, the fourth verse is very deep. Tesham eva anukampatam ahama gyanagyam tamaha nasyami atmabhavo sto gyana dipena vasvatam. Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, verse 11. Krishna says, only out of compassion for devotees who are exclusively devoted to me, I, dwelling within their intelligence, destroy with the blazing lamp of transcendental knowledge the darkness of material existence, which is born of ignorance. So these have two meanings. Okay? One is the ordinary meaning, a person who is practicing spiritual life, chanting his name, hearing about him, fasting on Ekadasi, performing all the limbs of devotion, then Krishna himself purify that person. Especially who likes to hear about topics of Krishna, Krishna take full responsibility for purifying you. Therefore, Guru Maharaj says, the second verse of Bhagavatam describe who can hear topics of Krishna and who cannot hear. So it's described, Dharma Prajata Koitavatra Paramani Matsaranam Satam Vedya Vasta Mata Vasta Sivadam Tapatrayan Molanam Sriman Bhagavate Mahamuni Kimba Parishwara Sada Avaruda Kritivi Tatsana. That person who likes to hear they have a certain quality which is they are non-envious of Krishna. Right? When we hear Krishna is the supreme center, he is the only enjoyer, then an envious person think, why all enjoyment should go to Krishna? Why not me? Why I'm not the center? Why I'm not the enjoyer? So because they feel envy, they don't like to hear topics of Krishna. What is all this talk about a supreme enjoyer more than me? Therefore, Saraswati Thakur said, when the Bhagavatam is spoken, the materialists get up and run for their lives. They run. Why they have so much envy of Krishna? They cannot tolerate these things. Why they understand in this bhakti yoga, there's nothing for me. Everything is for Krishna. And because they have too much enviousness, too much envy in their hearts, they cannot tolerate that. Therefore, they get up and walk out. But someone who is a little simple-hearted, they're not jealous of Krishna. They think, no, this is a good idea. When Krishna enjoys, then I enjoy. My enjoyment is dependent upon his enjoyment, right? Because he's the soul of the soul. So when he's happy, I become happy. Everyone's doing, that's why a Drake, no matter what everyone does, no one's happy because no one's following that. Everyone thinks, oh, I should be happy, then I enjoy. But it's not like that. It's the opposite. No? When Krishna enjoys, then you can feel bliss, then you can feel satisfaction. Guru Maharaj gave two nice examples. These are material examples, but still can give us some idea. Sometimes you see a dog chasing his tail, he never catches it. But if the dog gets some intelligence and just ignores his tail and walks away from his tail follows him. So those persons who are busy chasing their own enjoyment, they can never be happy. But a person who gives up all desires for their own enjoyment and just chases Krishna's happiness, okay, Drake, understand? Then all happiness chases behind that devotee. This is a mystery. Like we see, everyone in this world is very busy chasing women, chasing respect, chasing money, chasing properties, chasing reputation. But they can never get it. No matter how much they get, they're never satisfied. Because this world, 1 minute you get, next minute you lose. Like Donald Trump, how much respect he had, now look. Anyway, he's still got a few $1 million to fall back on, so it's not so bad. Anyway, this idea is that. But Gurudev, he never cared for these things. He just cared for Krishna's service. Therefore, all ladies, of course, he's not interested in that. Therefore, all ladies, all money, all power, all mystic potencies, all money, everything run behind him, all reputation. But he never cared. He just looked towards Krishna's enjoyment. So, ordinary meaning, that person who so much likes to hear, Krishna himself takes responsibility for purifying. So this verse says, Tatsanat. From the moment someone thinks, I will hear about Krishna, I will hear. They have not started to hear, but some desire comes. Maybe they see an advertisement, Harikatha, Bhagavat Saptaha, and they think, okay, maybe next week I'll go. I will hear in the future. Just by thinking this desire, I will hear, I will chant, but they're not doing it. From that time, Krishna purifies them. So much powerful. Just the desire to do bhakti. I will hear, I will chant, I will do a Ekadasi. So Krishna himself purifies the heart. Guru Maharaj gives an example like a friend. Imagine you have a very close friend and they come to your house, but you're not ready, your room's a pigsty, right? Because you didn't know anyone's coming. But that friend is so close, what does he do? He himself, don't worry, I'll take care. He himself, puts all the books and everything on one side, maybe he dusts, maybe he wipes the floor. He himself cleans and sits on that place. So someone who likes to hear, Krishna himself purified that heart. Okay, so this is an ordinary meaning. Out of compassion for devotees who are exclusively devoted to me, I dwelling within their heart, destroy with a blazing lamp of transcendental knowledge the darkness of material existence which is born of ignorance. This is ordinary meaning. And very high meaning, of course, we're not so high, but still something we can hear. Two, like a river has two banks, so love of Krishna has two sides, meeting Krishna and separation from Krishna. Okay, my cousin joined, how nice. So love of Krishna have two sides, meeting and separation. Just like in this world, we meet someone, our parents, our friends, but next minute we feel separation, like COVID or death or something, we are separated from them. So in this world, meeting gives happiness and separation gives suffering and pain. But in spiritual life, both give happiness. Meeting gives happiness, of course, to meet with Krishna. But separation from Krishna also gives one taste, one bliss, one happiness. Okay? So externally, the devotee who is someone sees Krishna, then Krishna disappears, then how much they become mad, how much they become restless. Like you take a fish out of water, how he feels, like giving up his life. So separation from Krishna 1,000 times more than that. You see Krishna, then you lose him, he disappears from you. But at times, that sweetness you cannot experience directly, but you can experience indirectly by remembrance. Understand, Drake? I mean, you can give material examples to get, you have your iPhone, then you lose it. What do you think about all day? My iPhone. This is like material idea, but still. That phone is not with you, but still so much you're absorbed, so much you're thinking of. So meeting with Krishna, this is one happiness, but separation from Krishna, this is also one happiness, one absorption. So that person who fully absorbed in Krishna, in separation, that means who has too much love for Krishna, only they will feel separation from Krishna. For them, Krishna speaks this 11th verse, Tesham evanukampat. For them, separation is like darkness, means so much pain. Externally, it may look like that. Like yesterday, one lady was saying, what's this devotion? Whole life I have to suffer because I cannot do devotion. But even when I become perfect, I also suffer. Then I said, what you're thinking? You think separation from Krishna, experienced by the perfect souls, is suffering. No, don't think like that. Outside it may look like that, but inside is one bliss, one river of nectar. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami just explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita, love of Krishna like drinking boiling hot sugarcane juice. Boiling hot sugarcane juice. Means so hot, of course, it scalds your lips, burns your throat, but so sweet, you have to drink more and more and more. Of course, so Kaviraj Goswami says, love of Krishna cannot be explained. Outside it may look like one pain, one suffering, but inside is one nectar, one happiness. So Krishna says, who experienced separation from me, then I myself arrange to dispel that separation by appearing to them again and again and again, inside their heart or outside their heart. So this is big topic. Therefore, Krishna, we see in Krishna's pastimes, he spent 12 years in Vrindavan. Then he arranged for himself to leave Vrindavan and go to Mathura for some say 12 years. Then he went to Dwarka for another 100 years. So those devotees who remained behind in Vrindavan, what was their situation? Krishna speaks this verse for them. Externally, it seems Krishna had left. Therefore, they're experiencing the burning pangs of separation from Krishna, which is more virulent than the strongest poison, hotter than more burning than the strongest acid. So outside it looks they're suffering, but inside they're experiencing Krishna, fully absorbed in Krishna. Sometimes Krishna come in their dreams. Sometimes he come directly, but the gopis think, oh, I am dreaming, I am dreaming. They cannot understand Krishna has come. Like Uddhav, when Okay, for new people, we have to little explain. Krishna spent 12 years here in Vrindavan. Then he went to the city of Mathura, and there the devotees in Vrindavan experienced so much separation from Krishna. But Krishna also experienced so much separation from them. That Krishna also have one extraordinary taste. So he sent one messenger, Uddhav, you go and give my message to my mother, Nanda Baba, my Nanda Yasoda, to my friends, also the Brajagopis. Krishna not said her name. So Uddhav came back to Vrindavan with Krishna's sandesh, Krishna's message. At first, Uddhav saw separation from Krishna. Means, all cows not eating grass, calves not drinking milk, even bees not drinking honey. No? All gopis thin like the new moon, not taking bath, no eating, not taking any care of their bodies. Day and night, tears flowing from their eyes. So outside, it looked like one suffering, no? But inside, how they are meeting with Krishna, how Krishna maintained their lives. No? So there's a story from Ramayana that Sita was Ram's wife, of course, we know, and she was kidnapped for 11 months. Then Hanuman went there to see. And Hanuman described Sita's situation in separation from Ram. Oh, Prabhu, Ram, she is very thin like the new moon. She's wearing the same cloth. She not take bath, tears flow from her. She not eat anything or drink anything for 11 months. Then Ram is astonished how she survived, how she lives. Then Hanuman describes, she live only on the nectar of your name. That name is like nectar. So she survived on that. And Guru Maharaj give one explanation of this. That Ravan had kidnapped Sita because he was very lusty to enjoy her beauty. So every day he would go and beg, borrow, anyway, many ways to control someone. He would use all these ways to change the mind of Sita. Look how powerful I am. I am king of the three worlds. All the demigods are my servants. No? I just move my eyebrows. All the demigods shake in fear. I am controlling the universe. He had 100,000 wives, so much wealth, so much beauty, Ravan, so much power, so much knowledge. He could not understand why Sita not come to him. He could not understand. So sometimes he would criticize Ram. Your husband is useless. Your husband is a beggar. Your husband lost everything, rejected. Many things he would say against Ram, and he would glorify himself to change Sita's mind. But Sita would not change because her heart is fixed on Ramchandra. So he would say, oh, if you don't accept me, I will chop you into pieces. I will eat you. I will kill you like this. Then tomorrow is your last chance to change, and he would leave. So Sita at that time, she's alone. You can imagine her external condition that looks very bad. She's sitting under one tree in that garden. So her eyes are closed, tears are pouring from her eyes. But what she is remembering the happiness of when she first saw Ram. No? The happiness she felt, no, when that garland of marriage she put on his neck, or when he put that garland on her, what happiness she felt. She is remembering that. So in separation, the devotee remembers the sweetness of Krishna. No? And that is like a nectar. I mean, we can give examples, but like in the middle of the night when you light a candle, that how much that candle appears so attractive at night. So when darkness of separation is there, then this remembrance gives such a beauty, such a sweetness. And one who has so much love for Krishna, Krishna explains to the gopis in Rasa Leela. No? What did he say this morning? I was thinking of that. Maya bhakti hibutanam amritavaya kalpatim yad asin mat sneha bhavatimam madapana. Krishna said to the gopis, oh gopis, your lives are successful. Why? You have developed full affection for me. And that affection is like nectar. Amritavaya kalpate. That affection you have for me, that is like nectar. Therefore, Krishna hints when one, of course, in the beginning stages of devotion, one may have many obstacles, uncontrolled mind, so many desires, uncontrolled senses, disinterest, sleep, anger, many, many obstacles, millions and millions we have. But in the high stage of devotion, devotee try to remember Krishna. Right? We are trying to remember. Therefore, sometimes by force, we chant loudly to hear. Even though we don't feel too much interest, still we sit in the class. We are trying to develop love for Krishna. We are trying to remember him. But someone who develops love of Krishna, they cannot forget him for a second. They cannot forget him for a second. Even they try to think of something else, they cannot. Because Krishna's fully captured them. So Krishna speaks this 11th verse of Bhagavad Gita for that level of devotee also. One who has that type of sneha for me, sneha means deep affection. No matter where they go, no matter where I go, always that connection is there. I cannot remain far away from them because they have bound Krishna. So these 4 verses describe sambandha, relationship. It describes the process of devotion. And this 11th verse also describes the goal of devotion, which is pure love, both in meeting and in separation. Right? So these 4 verses, we try to ask everyone to learn them. Did you learn any, Drake? Pathetic. Okay, try again this week. Okay, 4 verses. So verse 12 is very nice, 12 and 13 also. Many people study Bhagavat Gita. Right? Even university courses are there. So many people have written commentaries on Bhagavat Gita, right? The politicians have written one, like Mahatma Gandhi, like Ram Krishna. He was the president of India. He also wrote commentary. So many, many different type of persons have written commentary on Bhagavat Gita. But really, this Bhagavat Gita is only understandable for the devotees. So if we are reading Bhagavat Gita or studying Bhagavat Gita, then our understanding should also come in the footsteps, following the footsteps of the first hearer of Bhagavat Gita. Who is the first hearer of Bhagavat Gita? That is Arjuna. So Arjuna is hearing all this from Krishna, and what is Arjuna's understanding? That is the perfect understanding. So Arjuna spoke these 2 famous verses. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavam, Purusham, Sasvitam, Divyam, Adi Deva Majam Bhavum, Aham Tvam, Rishes Sarva Deva She Naradas Tatha, Asit Devalo, Vyas, Swayam Cheva Bravishyam. 2 famous verses. Okay. What is Arjuna's understanding of Krishna? Many people say God has no form. If God has no form, then who the hell is Krishna who's sitting on the chariot speaking Bhagavad Gita? He exists or not exist? Just so I'm seeing Drake's face on the camera. If I said Drake does not exist, how would Drake feel? Not very happy. So Krishna exists. If he doesn't exist, then how could he speak all these things? So he has a body. He has a form. He is not formless. So what's Arjuna's understanding of this person, Krishna, who's in front of him? This understanding is the fruit of hearing the Bhagavad Gita. So we should always try to match. Is my understanding of Bhagavad Gita the same as Arjuna? So Arjuna says, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavam, Purusham, Sasvitam, Divyam, Adideva Majam. Okay, Param Brahma. Parabrahma means the absolute truth. Okay, Parabrahma. So, who is Krishna? He's not just a human being. He's not just a soul. He's not just another teacher. He's not just some type of incarnation. Who is Krishna according to Arjuna's understanding? Arjuna hearing directly and seeing Krishna directly. What's Arjuna understand? Who is Krishna? Parabrahma. The absolute truth. Brahma can mean many things in Sanskrit. Brahma can mean mind, Brahma can mean intelligence, Brahma can mean the soul, Brahma can mean existence. But Parabrahma means the supreme existence, the supreme soul, the supreme intelligence, right? So that is Parabrahma, Krishna. Paradhamma, right? You are the supreme shelter. Okay. What does shelter mean? For example, now we are taking shelter of this body. I mean, this body maintaining us. You think like that. Or this earth is giving us shelter. The earth is maintaining us. Or our parents are giving us shelter, right? Our parents give us a house to live, they feed us. So our parents are giving us shelter. So everyone is taking shelter of this body, of their mind, of their parents, of the earth, right? Of a country, of an employment. But who is the supreme shelter, who gives shelter to everyone and everything? That is Krishna. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram. He is always pure. Okay? Not like us. Our bodies are made of stool and urine, right? From nose, eyes, mouth, ears, even earwax is there, right? What to speak of the downstairs gates, stool and urine. No question of this material body being pure. This material body always disgusting. No. Even you put powder and lipstick and everything, still, at the end of the day, it's a bag of stool. Is Krishna something like that? No. Krishna has no material form. He has no material body. His body is always pure, always spiritual, always transcendental, always beyond goodness, passion, and ignorance. Pavitra. No matter what he does, he's always pure. This is difficult for us to understand. If we don't take bath 2-3 days, how we feel, or how others feel when they sit next to you on the bus, Purushottam. Right? But Krishna always pure, pavitra. That means no matter what he does, always pure. This is difficult to understand. We become impure by our activities, right? If we lie, if we cheat, if we steal, we become impure. But not Krishna. He always remains unaffected by his activities, always pure. Paramam Bhavam means all existence depends on him. He does not depend upon existence. So the material existence, Krishna has a separate existence from this material world. Right? He has not lost himself to become this world. Param Bhavam. Purusham, he is always a person. He is always a person. Okay? Many people think God is impersonal. They think he cannot be a person, right? Because what's our experience of a person? Right? Every person we've ever met has a beginning and an end. Every person we've ever met has a cause. Every person we've ever met has some imperfections. Right? Every person we've met is limited. But Krishna is not like that. He is the unlimited personality. Therefore, in scripture everywhere, Krishna is described as Param Purush, the supreme Purush, the supreme person. Right? Krishna everywhere is described as Adi Purush, the original person, the first person. Especially in the Judaic Christian, well, not Judaic, in the Christian belief, they believe Jesus would describe himself as the Son of Man. Actually, it's a very deep thing. Son of Man, Jesus would say. So question comes, the son of who? Son of man? Who is the original man? That's God, right? That's Krishna. Son of man. So we are humans, we are persons, sorry. So how could the cause of everything be impersonal? We are souls, we are tiny persons, minute persons. Therefore Krishna must be also a person, but he is the supreme person, the unlimited person, the omniscient person, the omnipotent person, and the original person. So he is always a person. Okay, he always has a body, he always has a form. And Purush here, in Sanskrit we say Purush Prakriti. Prakriti means feminine, and Purush means male. So actually, Even though in this world we identify, I am man, I am father, I am husband, I am son. In this world we identified as Purush. But actually in theory all souls have a feminine nature. It means the nature of all souls is to be enjoyed. Okay, like a woman can enjoy only when she's enjoyed. Don't want to get into it too much, but if you think about it, a woman's nature, her physiognomy, her mentality, even her body, everything, when she is enjoyed, then she feels happiness. So the mistake is we are all thinking we are enjoyers, we are male. Gogmaj would say, oh, we just lost a few people. All the women just went offline. But actually Gogmaj would ask, are there any women in the audience? Then they would put up their hand. He would say, no, none of you are women. All of you are male in women's bodies. Means you are not embracing the feminine side of your soul, which is to serve. You are all giving that up and adopting the exploitive mentality of the male. So actually all souls, we are feminine in nature. We are servants. And when we are enjoyed by Krishna, then we can enjoy. Okay, so Krishna is always Purush. Anyway, especially with the Me Too movement, and not saying that's a bad thing, but these days, as soon as you speak these things because of the rise of the so-called feminist movement, then many people take objection to that. But at the end of the day, we have to accept Krishna is the enjoyer, only he is the supreme male, and we are all to be enjoyed by him. We are all feminine in the nature. These days, when women say we want to be, we want to adopt our femininity, it means they want to give up their feminine nature and become same like men is the enjoyer. We want to be the enjoyer in this world. No. So real women's lib movement means devotional service. Devotion. So Purusham, Sasvitam Divyam. Krishna is always divinely situated, always. Krishna comes to this world, he does not become subordinate to this world. He does not become controlled by this world. He does not become affected by this world. It means the imperfections of this world cannot affect him. An example like a spider. A spider makes a web and he moves everywhere on the web. He never becomes entangled in his own web. So Krishna is like that. Sasvitam Divyam. We should not think because Krishna comes to this world, also like us, he becomes subject to birth and death. He becomes subject to miseries, hunger and thirst. No. Sasvitam Divyam. Adi Devam. Adi Dev. In Indology, people say the demigods, like Brahma, Shiva. These are the subordinate controllers of the universe. Okay, Mark? The demigods. So many people think Krishna is just another one of them, right? But no, here, therefore, Arjuna says Krishna is not a dev. He's Adidev. He's the source of all the devas. No? All the devas come from him. All the demigods, Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Ganesh, Durga, as many as there are, where do they come from, Purushottam? Adidev. Therefore, Krishna is the first, the original. Vibhum. Vibhum means unlimited, all-pervading. We should not make the terrible mistake of thinking because Krishna have a human-like form, that he is also limited like us. Krishna's form, which is also 7 times, right? All human beings, their body is 7 times the length of their palm, 7 cubits, we say. Everyone, from Hulk Hogan down to the dwarf, everyone is 7 times the length of their hand. So we should not think that the medium-sized form of human, the human-like form of Krishna, is also limited. That is our big mistake. Krishna's human-like form is also unlimited. Our problem is we have no experience of something unlimited. Right? What's the closest experience, Kevin, we have of something unlimited? We look up and see, we see the sky. Oh, sky is unlimited. Sky, even though people say sky is formless, actually sky has a form, you can see it. If it had no form, you couldn't see it. But just for argument's sake, Oh, ether, the sky has no form. No. So God must be like that, all-pervading and formless. But no, Krishna's human-like form is also unlimited. Krishna's human-like form pervades everything. Therefore, Krishna possesses the quality of being in one place. He also possesses the qualities of being in every place. How can someone have both these qualities at the same time? These are conflicting natures, to be in one place and to be in every place. Either in one place or you're in every place. You can't be both, but Krishna can be both. That's why Krishna melts everyone's intelligence, fails, because Viru Dharmasvaya. Impossible opposite things can be inside Krishna at the same time, no harm for him. Right? He is without birth, but he takes birth. He is unlimited, but he appears in a 7-cubit-like human-like form. Right? Many, many things. Right? So, for that reason, Arjuna accepts Krishna as Vibhum. Then one may say, well, Arjuna probably accepts that because he's his friend. No? And they say love is blind. Like every husband thinks my wife is the most attractive. Probably from a neutral perspective, it would not be seen like that. I'll just tell, it's a little rubbish story, but it's interesting. Akbar was king of India, and he had a very intelligent minister. He said, go and find the most beautiful child. So Birbal was looking here and there. Then he saw one child who was really ugly, more than Anupam as an infant. His teeth were going here and there, cross-eyed, ugly child. So, and child was a little dirty also, playing in the mud and stuff. Then Birbal was looking at this child and he was thinking, this kid's on the bottom of the pack, he's really ugly. Then one woman came and she picked up his child and began wiping the dirt from his and hugging him. And then the woman asked, she could understand Birbal is like a royal personality. Oh, great person. Why are you here in this like low-class area? Birbal said, I'm looking for the most beautiful child. Then the mother, then you found him. Here he is. My child is the most attractive. See how handsome, see how intelligent. So one may think, well, maybe Arjuna thinks all this stuff about Krishna because he's Krishna's friend. So to dispel this doubt, Arjuna speaks the next verse. Aham tvam rishaya sarva devashi naradastata. Arjuna is saying, not only I am saying like this about Krishna, but everyone is saying this about Krishna. Means everyone who matters, right? Ahus tvam rishaya. No? Therefore, even rishis, rishi means great saintly persons. Ahus tvam rishaya. Not only I am saying this, but all the rishis. And devashi. Devashi means who's even higher than a rishi, they're called devarshi. Like the guru of the rishis. That means like Narad Muni. Narad Muni is famously known as Devashi Rishi. Okay, people don't know, maybe new people watching don't know Devashi Narad, but he's like John the Baptist or Jesus, that much famous. In India, anyone you ask, they probably don't know anything, but anyone you ask, do you know Narad? Oh yes, I am knowing Narad. Narad, very famous. So, Uhus Tam Rishya. Sarve Devashi Naradatata. I am saying this. Not only me, all the rishis. And Darvashi, even the guru of all the rishis, like Narad, he is also accepting the same thing. Asit Devalo Vyasa Swayam Cheva Bravishime. Asit, these are all saintly persons. Of course, those who have not too much background in all this, these might sound a bit strange, but these are all great, great, famous and saintly persons. Asit, Devala, and Vyas. Narad, let me read the translation. After hearing the previous 4 verses, which are the very essence of Srimad Bhagavat Gita, Arjuna, to understand the subject matter even more clearly, said, I know you are the supreme absolute truth and the supreme abode. You are supremely pure and the destroyer of impurity and ignorance. The great rishis such as Dirvashi, Narad, Asit, Devala, and Vyas also glorify you as the eternal personality, the transcendental and primeval Lord, who is unborn and omnipresent. Now you are personally saying the same thing to me. So in spiritual life, we have this system of check and balances, right? Otherwise, any so-called guru would say any rubbish and all the followers have to accept because that's their guru, right? But spiritual life does not work like that. Whatever anyone says, this must have some authority, some backing. Like in the law courts, the lawyer says, oh, Your Honor, this precedent, this previous case was there, this judgment was passed in a likewise case. Then the judge looks at this precedent and, oh yes, and he can accept and give the same judgment. So in spiritual life, we also have this system of checks and balances. So the first is Krishna's own words, right? Krishna's own instructions. This is called the Shruti. In the beginning of creation, what instructions Krishna gave to Brahma, then those same instructions came to Narad, to Vyas, through the disciplic successions. These personal instructions of Krishna, this is called Shruti. Shruti means that which is heard. Before was no books, no writing. Everything was received through oral reception. And people had such intelligence, they heard once, they could remember. Not like these days. No? So Shruti, the original Vedic statements, the original statements of the Supreme Lord, that is the first, that is the basis. No? But we also have Smriti. Smriti means what other great persons have also spoken. Smriti. Smriti actually means remembrance, and Shruti means which is heard. So by hearing the Vedic instructions, maybe some great personality have their own realizations, which are also in line with the spoken Veda. So Shruti and Smriti, these are not conflicting. These are in line. Someplace we've heard the original Vedic statements of Krishna, the Shruti, this is like a tree. And the Smriti, which comes in the hearts of the great souls who practice these teachings, that is like the fruit. No, tree and fruit. Okay, tree and fruit is not separate. There's relationship. So the original Vedic statements, that is the first. Then what the other great saintly persons have also spoken, this is the second. And one's own guru, right? These three should be matching. So we call sadhu, shastra, and guru. When these three things are matching, then we can accept such a statement as authoritative. Now, if a so-called guru or so-called teacher speaks something, but this has not been accepted, what he says has not been accepted by the previous authorities or by the original statements of the Supreme Lord himself, then such a statement, even by the guru, can be rejected. Okay? This may seem extraordinary, but sometimes even a proper guru, what to speak of an improper guru, sometimes even something which a proper guru speaks may be according to time, place, and circumstances. So even sometimes Gurudev says something which is not according to scripture or according to the previous authorities, we can also neglect that statement. Understanding Gurudev spoke for some extraneous cause. So here, Arjuna is saying, oh Krishna, what you spoke about yourself, what the great saints like Asit, Devala, Vyas, and Narad have also spoken, and the same thing I'm also understanding now today. So these three things are matching. Okay? So really, Bhagavad Gita is very sweet. No, really, verse by verse is like a staircase. You start on the bottom and step by step you go, and where it takes you. No? So, verse 14, Krishna says, Sarvamita Britam Manye Yamam Vadasi Keshava Nahite Bhagavan Vyaktim Vidu Deva Nadanava. Okay. Many names Krishna has. One time my brother said about me, because When take initiation, you get another name. When take sannyas, you get another name. So one time my brother said, "You've had more name changes than Michael Jackson's had facelifts." So Krishna had, then imagine how many names Krishna has. So here, one name of Krishna, Bhagavan. Bhagavan is a definition of God. What does Bhagavan mean? Aishwarya samagrasya viryasa yasa sasri. Jnana vargacha ititan nama bhaga. Who has complete beauty, complete fame, complete wealth, complete strength. Did I say that? Complete knowledge and complete renunciation. Means Krishna has everything but no attachment to it. He's attached only to himself. Right? So that person who has complete unlimited beauty, wealth, fame, knowledge, renunciation, that person can be called Bhagavan. So here Arjuna is giving many names of Krishna. O Bhagavan, O Keshav, another name of Krishna, very sweet name, Keshav. Keshav, Ka means Lord Brahma, Isha means Shiva. Ka means Brahma, A means Shiva, Keshav. Sorry. Keshav. S means Shiva, Ka means Brahma, Ishwar, Ka Ishev, Keshav. So who's the controller of Brahma and Shiva? Then he is called Keshav. Another name of Krishna is Keshav. Kesh means hair. Krishna's hair is so attractive, so dark, so sweet. So another name of Krishna is Keshav. Sarvamitam Ritemanye Yadman Vedase Keshava. O Keshav, I accept all that you have told me to be true. Arjuna is not filtering it. Right? That's why Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj called his Bhagavad Gita commentary Bhagavad Gita as it is. Right? Means what Krishna said about himself, I accept it. Right? Not, oh, I like this bit, but I don't like that bit. Not like that. Arjuna is not filtering out. Like many people I've noticed so much. For example, many places we give like 3-day seminar or 5-day seminar. So in the beginning, when you just speak about, oh, this world is the place of birth, death, old age, and disease. No, we can explain you're not the body. You are the soul inside the body. When the soul leaves the body has no life, no consciousness. No. You are the soul. You are not the dead body. When the soul enters the body, that's birth. When the soul leaves the body, that is called death. Right? A dead body has eyes but cannot see. A dead body has ears but cannot hear. Why? No consciousness. So consciousness, the symptom of the body. All these things you describe, everyone, yes. Oh, yeah, yes, we accept. Oh, yes, soul is eternal. Okay. Soul is changing from one body to another body to another body. Yes, okay, yes, we understand. Everything is fine. The first 2 days, everyone become vegetarian. It's very nice for you. Otherwise, next life you have to take birth as a chicken or a fish because that is your karma. Oh, yes, okay. And then you speak, and who is controlling all this? Who is the source of all this? Who is controlling everything? That is Krishna. So they get up and never come back. Why? You cannot accept one part of the Vedic teachings and then reject another part. You cannot do that. You cannot filter. So Arjuna, he has the quality, he is not filtering. So Prabhupada called what Krishna explained about himself, Arjuna fully accepted. Krishna is a person. Krishna has a spiritual form. Krishna has no birth. He has no death. He is the origin of everything. He is the supreme controller. Arjuna hearing all this from Krishna, Arjuna accepting everything. He not filtering, taking something, giving up something. No? So, O Keshav, I accept all that you have told me to be true. Neither the demigods nor the demons fully understand your tattva. No one can fully know you. No one can perfectly know you because you are unlimited. Okay, well, okay, this morning I was feeling a little sick, but speak about Krishna, I always feel a little bit happy. Okay, let me speak one more verse, then we'll finish for today. And tomorrow morning, same time, want to do another class also. Swayam evatmanatmanam veta tvam purushottamaha bhuta bhavana bhuteshu deva deva jagatpati. So Arjuna again is glorifying. What is Arjuna's understanding of Krishna? Oh, Purushottam. Okay, there's many Purushas, many souls, many life forms, many entities, Purush. But oh, Purushottam, Krishna is known as the topmost person. We are not the same as him. Oh, Purushottam, Swayam, Evatmanatmana. Oh, you are the original soul of the soul. I remember I was a new devotee sitting in class and I heard that. What is this? Okay, soul I understand. But what is soul of the soul? That's a new one, isn't it? Soul of the, think about that. Soul of the soul. That's Krishna. So he is not separate from us. He is not outside of us. He is not some different person. Okay, but still we are not Krishna. But still we are not different from him. Like a spark from a fire. So Arjuna is accepting. Oh Krishna, you are Purushottam. Oh Swayam Evanatmanatmana. You are the original soul of all the souls. Bhuta Bhavana. You are the creator of all beings. Bhut means many things. Bhuta means material existence. Sometimes the souls are also called Bhuta. So Bhuta Bhavana. You are the creator, you are the maintainer of everything. You are Bhutesh. Bhut Bhavana Bhutesha Deva Deva Jagatpati. Bhutesh means the father of all created beings. Right? Even material existence. Without father we don't exist. Right? So who is the original seed-giving father of everyone? That's Krishna. So material nature everywhere is described to be like a woman. But still, a woman may have everything, but no husband, then no child. So material nature cannot do anything without the desire of the Lord. So for that reason, Krishna is called Bhutesh, the father of everything. Therefore, many places describe material nature. She is called Durga. And like husband places the seed, the semen, the seed into the womb of the wife, the mother, and she gives birth to the child. In the same way, Krishna, he injects the living entities into this world. This world is like Maya, like a woman, but without the father, the souls can have no existence. No? Material nature alone cannot produce consciousness. Right? Is Ashley still there, my cousin? These days the scientists are saying life comes from matter. Ashley, you still there? Hope he is. Life comes from matter, but the problem is matter has no life. So how can a combination of inert atoms produce life, produce consciousness when atoms have no consciousness? Therefore, there's something else which gives consciousness to the dead body. That is the soul. So Krishna is called, and who is the father of all souls? That is Krishna, the supreme soul. So Swayam Evam Anatmanam. Oh Krishna, you are the original soul of all souls. Veta, you are the knower. Right? We know something, but who knows everything? Only Krishna knows. Tvam Purushottama. Oh Krishna, you are Purushottam, the supreme person. Bhuta Bhavana Bhuteshu. You know past, present, future. You are the creator, the maintainer, and the dissolution of all living entities. At the end of creation, everything goes back into Krishna. Manifest, unmanifest, but both unmanifest and manifest depend upon Krishna. Deva, Deva, Jagatpati. You are the father of the entire creation. Only you alone know yourself. No one else can know you. Of course, if Krishna gives mercy, then you can know him, but otherwise, no. Okay. Wow. Bhagavad Gita is great. Huh? Only you are fully able to describe yourself, by which you pervade and reside throughout the entire creation. So Krishna has many potencies. One is called the potency of knowledge. That is called the Samvid Shakti. The potency of knowledge is that potency by which we can know Krishna and by which Krishna knows himself. How's that? So only Krishna knows himself. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is considered the best of all scriptures because Krishna himself describing himself. So what other scripture could be superior to that? Not possible. Oh Krishna, only you are fully able to describe yourself. Therefore, we see many great devotees trying to describe Krishna cannot finish. Because how can you finish something which is unlimited? Therefore, Kaviraj Goswami described, even though Krishna's beauty is complete, every second it increases. Well, how does that make sense, right? How can something infinite and unlimited increase? Increase into where? Increase into what? That is Krishna. Therefore, Krishna appear ever fresh. Every second the devotee, oh, I had never seen Krishna before. Every second the devotee can feel like that. Even though we're not so high, still when we chant Hare Krishna, we think, oh, what is this? I never chanted before like this. When we see the deities, oh, how new they look today. Oh, I never seen them like this. Every day we'll have some feeling. Some prasad, oh my God, this is the best prasad I've ever had. Every day I think like that. So this is the best prasad I ever had. Or we speak Bhagavad Gita, I'm thinking, my God, I've never even seen this verse. Even though I was the one who translated this whole thing, but still, wow, I never saw this verse before. It's like new. So everything about Krishna is new, ever fresh. Okay? So even devotees, so powerful, like Krishna, but still cannot finish describing his glories. How attractive, how merciful, how expert, Krishna's 64 qualities. So Krishna described himself, no other scripture can be equal to that. Therefore, Krishna put so much mercy in these instructions. If Krishna says in the end of Bhagavad Gita, one who studies Bhagavad Gita worships me by his intelligence. Just hearing Bhagavad Gita, we are serving Krishna, worshipping Krishna. Okay. So Arjuna asks, O Supreme Mystic, O possessor of Yogamaya Shakti, how shall I know you? How can I constantly remember you? O Bhagavan, in this world, how can I understand you in this world? Which of your variegated aspects should I contemplate, and in which moods am I to meditate on you? Nice question, right? Someone may say, well, Krishna is in the spiritual world. I'm here stuck in Hong Kong, stuck in Sydney, stuck in Ukraine. How can I remember Krishna? No, so to help us, Krishna speaks Krishna consciousness for dummies. How to remember Krishna even in this world. I will speak that tomorrow. Are there any questions from anyone? Any questions? Tika, Hare Krishna. Oh, Brajeshwari is there. Husband is there, Brajeshwari? Useless fellow. What's he doing?
He's working.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Should be a little generous sometimes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Come on, Lavan, you know the words. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Hari Bo. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Hari Bo. Hari Bo. Go Premanandi. Hari Hari Bo. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.